Quite frankly insulting to suggest that the UK is a country marred by racial tension and violence and civil disobedience or whatever, because in comparison to countries across the world and countries in Europe, the UK is one of the most racially tolerant countries. Now, that doesn't mean that racism doesn't exist here, and I think whenever people say that, they're like, oh, you're saying racism doesn't exist. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying comparative to many countries all over the world, Britain is a warm, welcoming place to be, and that's why so many people choose to live here and come here from overseas. If we were such a horrible place, why do so many people actually want to come here? And I think really this is about a sort of left-wing self-flagellation that seeks to paint this country as some evil beacon of hatred and racism, when quite frankly that isn't the case. And it's insulting actually to countries like Saudi Arabia, Qatar, China, that have very overt forms of racism. Look at the modern slave trade that still exists in the Middle East that involves mostly West Africans. That's the things that we should be focusing on, and those are the things that matter, but conveniently the report doesn't do that.
Yeah, China, by the way, you talk about conveniently, that was missing. But I mentioned, I wasn't being glib, by the way, when I said it sounds awful, why would anyone want to live there? Because that is actually one of the purposes of the British Council. It's supposed to promote us. Anyone reading those kind of documents would be forgiven for thinking, what a cesspit. But I really don't believe that it is. Dana, am I wrong?
Well, I wouldn't say that it's a cesspit, but I would say as a Canadian that I was surprised to see so many right-wing groups when I came here. BNP, we've talked about this, EDL, UKIP, Reclaim. We know the history with the National Front. And I think when
you can't compare Reclaim to the National Front.
And I'm ridiculous. Not... See, this is where we get into the point where everyone's interrupting and then I'm the bad left.
But I didn't interrupt you before.
Can I finish my point? Can I finish my point?
Yes, you can. Go on.
Okay, so basically, are you saying that Congo is some evil left organization? I mean, if we're going to promote Britain overseas, especially when we're promoting it to countries that may have been former colonies, it might be in our interest to do a little bit of acknowledgement, or people are just going to look at you like you're crazy. We have to make a decision. Are we going to tackle racism, or are we here to keep up appearances?
But to suggest that our society is marred by racial tension.
When I got here in 2011, they burnt down my neighborhood in a race riot after Mark Duggan was shot by the police. I would say that that's extreme racial violence and tension across the country.